back to the show. I want to ask everybody a question, right? And the question is, what would you say if I said to you that this is the most historical moment in Bitcoin that we're about to have in 2024, right? And I'm not even talking about the halvening. Doesn't matter. That's part of the network. Everyone should expect that. I'm not talking about ETF. None of that matters, right? That's been hyped, overhyped, in my opinion. And also, they can now, with the ETFs and with all the paper trading, they can go and trade 1 billion Bitcoin by all means, right? It doesn't affect the entire market. Only way ETF will ever affect the market is if they actually do spot transactions, and if they actually only limit it to the available number of coins, right? And the available number of coins doesn't mean available globally, means available in their own wallet, right? If that makes any sense. Because some of the largest cryptocurrency holders out there, they only hold like 1%, 1.5%, something like this, right? Something stupid. So that's all they can actually trade with, right? Realistically, because you can't trade somebody else's coin. So I'm not even going to go there, right? None of that matters. What I'm talking about historic here is a move that's about to happen, because Bitcoin's about to go parabola, all right? And not many people understand what this move means. Like, we've been tracking it on the weekly for some time now, and we've been talking about how, you know, particular Sundays are important and particular Sundays are not so important, right? So today I'm looking at the market and I'm seeing how BTC is rallying up again, everything resetting. But one indicator tells me that we're getting ready for a momentous move, right? And I'm talking nothing small like, you know, 2, 3K, 4K, none of that. I'm talking about 10K moves. I'm talking about a big 10K move. The market has reset. Let that sink in. The market has reset, right? And I could be completely wrong, but most times I'm not, right? When I'm looking at the market, when I'm looking at the chart, it's rare that I'm actually wrong. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the market having a complete reset, and it's ready to actually shoot up, right? So from here right now, if we have these 5, 10K moves, right, we could go blitzing past the 48K or 48,900, where we had the previous high, the recent high that we had, the recent local high that we had, where we got rejected. And we talked about the 48K being a rejection mark or a level like almost 1.5 years, 2 years now, guys. So we were predicting these numbers. We had these trends and these like zones and areas where we knew what would happen, right? We knew that, okay, if the market goes to this level, we are going to expect a rejection. If the market does a rejection, where it may come and hold. And if it does hold there, then what happens to the trend? We talked about this. So if you follow the videos that I've actually made in the past, right, and you can follow along, you'll see how this entire BTC move was played, right? And how every single time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes a year, sometimes even 2 years ahead of time, right, we were saying what the patterns will be. That had nothing to do with the news, nothing to do with the latest news, nothing to do with any like global macroeconomics or macro factors, geopolitics or anything like this, right? Purely based on the chart, right? Purely based on the chart. That's what it was predicting. So I'm quite glad to see where the market is coming right now. So this Sunday, so right now I'm not even bothered. This week doesn't even matter. But this Sunday is the time when we see that flip, right? So Sunday, I want to see a flip. And as soon as all my indicators start pointing up, we know we're going in for a parabola. And a parabola literally means the end of the bull market, right? Now, the bull market, when I say end, guys, understand, it doesn't end in a day, right? The parabola could last for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? You know, probably at the end of the year, all the way to the end of the year. So understand this, a parabola doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to end now. What it means is we're going to see this market right now, the entire total market cap, see that $1.6 trillion shoot up towards $3 trillion, maybe $4 trillion. That's what we're going to see. When we see the big momentum, we're not going to see just BTC jumping all the way to 100K, 200K, 500K, like some of the big experts are predicting. We're not going to see none of that. What we're going to see, and by all means, we want to see it, right? Let's not get this wrong, right? We do want to see those kind of moves. But the point is that's not what we're going to see. We're going to see the entire market pump up, especially the alts, right? If BTC does from here, BTC does 1.5x, right? That's 100K, right? So BTC doesn't really have to do that much to get to 100K, 200, you know, if you understand. But also what you have to understand, a lot of the projects, the big blue chip projects, right? Or even the upcoming almost blue chips, they're not blue chips yet. I don't have a name for them. I'll call them like gems, right? there are actual gems out there who are kind of vested, and a lot of money's been already going into them, but they're kind of 90% down. This is the time when you're going to see those ones from where they are right now. If they just move back up or recover that 90% down they had, that's a 10x. That's a 10x. Just understand where I'm coming from. So we're going to see some big moves coming. Now, a lot of the big moves that are going to come, there's going to be a lot of old coins, like, you know, legacy coins, I'm going to call them, right, who may not perform. So a lot of people are, like myself, are holding on to some assets, right? I'm not going to name any here, but we've been holding for a very long time. But the truth of the matter is that they might actually never, ever pump, just because of how the market is oversaturated with so many different projects. So it will be a situation of out with the old, in with the new, right? So that's what's going to happen. A lot of new narratives are going to start pushing. Like we've already had, you know, I've talked about it before. We've had, you know, like blockchains, and then we've had ICOs, and then we've had memes, and then we've had NFTs, and then we've had AI, or file storage, and XYZ. So that's all happening. And a lot of people are coming out with loads of new different, like new kind of innovations, but none of that matters. It's not to do with that. It's basically the narrative, like the way it works is you'll get these big groups of people who collaborate and actually jump into a single project. So it's all focused, right? So the energy is focused into a single project, and that could be the thing, right? Because remember, previous bull run, what was the big top coin? It wasn't BTC. A lot of people thought it wasn't BTC. Yes, BTC performed very well, right? And the bull market started very early back in 2019, as I've mentioned before as well. I said it wasn't 2020, it was 2019. So we know that bottom of the trend, from that point, when we reverse, we start moving up. So the bull market started, which is fine, right? And then we saw Ethereum pumping, XYZ. All of those happened. None of those matters. The biggest pump happened was Solana. So last bull market belonged to Solana. Of course, Solana crashed because of all the FTC bollocks that we had, all the Sam Bankman-Fried crap that we had, right? You know, it's really hard. You never know. You know, when there's a wolf hiding basically in a sheepskin, you don't know, right? And that's what happened there. So the reality is, I've mentioned this so many times as well, guys, and that's the honest truth. Like, that's how I feel about every single currency, right? Or every single cryptocurrency out there, right? They always start off as a freaking scam, right? A scam, a bad intention, or whatever, even if it's complete humble beginnings, right? But they always start off as a scam. Because it's a scam, reason is it may never ever survive. It may never ever pump up, right? And what I mean by that, a project could start off complete humble, right? The founders are legit, everybody's legit. They launched the project. They could be rug pulled. They could be freaking scammed, right? Scammers will attack them and take away everything because they don't want to see them succeed. And those projects will end up failing. Now, when they fail, we immediately say rug pull or we say scam. That's what happens. So what I'm talking about, survivability, right? If a project doesn't survive these kind of thrashing that they get, then there's no hope for them, right? Of course, they might stick around. They might be there for another 2 decades. It doesn't matter. But those projects may never come back. And then you have these big top tier limelight, you know, highlighted projects, right? Because of who's involved in them and this and that. And then they'll raise millions, hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, right? And we've had situations where there was one coin, I remember way back in the days, back in 2017, I remember it was EOS, right? EOS. He's actually created 2 other cryptocurrencies, if I'm correct. And I think he's kind of partners in other projects right now as well. But leave all of those, but just talk about EOS. I think he raised like $4 billion. Imagine that, he raised $4 billion and the project got abandoned, right? So I was in during the beginning stages of it. We did like 16, 17x, and then we just left, right? Because that was the right thing to do. And good thing we did, because after we did that, the project really didn't do much, and the founder just kind of resigned and whatnot, and all that drama out of it. But that's $4 billion he raised and took, right? So point is you can have some great projects, great leaders, great devs and whatnot, right? But the project may never survive, right? May never ever survive, or may never ever come to fruition where it's a top-notch project, right? Because you have all sorts of factors, like, as I said, whales could impact it, buyers and holders and sellers could impact it, and that could take it down. And also scammers, right? They will attack it as well. So, and I'm not saying EOS got hacked or anything, but the point is, that's the kind of reality that we live in. So for me, every project that starts, doesn't matter how humble it is or how dishonest it is, right? It doesn't matter. Until it gets to a certain level, to me, it's just another shit coin, full stop, right? I won't call it a scam coin. Let's call it a shit coin, right? Because that's what it is. It's just shit coin. So it takes people, community to move things forward. So that's why I'm saying, and understand where I'm coming from, guys. I'm not here shilling my own project or anything. All I'm saying is understand this, that when the entire market starts to move up, right? When the rocket starts to shoot up and this and that, what you need to understand is there's a lot of projects out there that could easily take over an older successful project, right? And become the new Solana, the new Ethereum, or whatever you want to call it, right? So keep that in mind and understand that, you know, there's a time when you plug your funds in and you gotta, it's not about you choosing the right thing. Believe me, back in the days, if we had 300 coins, I would have said, put it in all 300 coins, right? We don't have 300 coins. We got like close to like tracked 2 million coins, or 2 million plus coins, untracked, maybe about 4 million coins. Untracked, maybe 4 million coins. The reason I'm saying it's untracked, because there's a lot of projects that launch, but they don't verify, they don't, you know, all of that stuff, right? So they just launch, testing, this, that, whatever. And I can say this from my own experience as well, right? So they will do that, and that project doesn't get tracked. So there's millions of coins out there that haven't even been tracked, right? There's probably 1 million plus projects out there who haven't even verified themselves on the blockchain. So they definitely have no legitimacy, right? So think about that. You know, and it's not going to stop. This is going to be the new thing. But of course, as I said, like, communities coming together, picking up on a project, and then the project moving, that's what's going to basically give us the new Solana or something. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, like, what am I talking about? Or if I did have a pick, what pick would I say? Right, look, I'm just saying any coin right now, out of the top 100, maybe even the top 200 of the coin market cap, excluding the USDT, could start to push. This coin that could push, maybe even it's in top 300 or top 400, right? It could start to push, right? Because I've seen projects that are sitting in the rank 7,000 all of a sudden shoot up all the way to rank 2,000. So that's 5,000 ranks it moved up, right? So when I look at that, things start to look really, really good, especially in these little coins. So what I'm saying is, like, you know, like for me, the way I've reacted to them, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put $10, $20, $30, $40, whatever I could afford to lose in each of these coins and see where they move forward, right? Or how they move forward. But at the same time, if I'm looking for a gem that I think could explode this particular time, I usually used to say blockchains. I still do kind of believe in blockchains, because I think blockchains are going to survive regardless what happens to their altcoins. They're just not going to scam out. They might not be as popular. Like, for example, Cosmos is one of the best freaking blockchains out there, right? Atom, its own coin called Atom, right? Cosmos. I know hundreds and hundreds of protocols, exchanges, blockchains, right? Apps, dApps, you name it, have been built using the Cosmos SDK. But where is Cosmos? Do you see what I mean? It's a brilliant blockchain. People are using it to benefit, right? They're churning billions out of it, right? Combined, right? But the project itself isn't really doing much. Think about that, right? So that's the reality that we got to look at when we are looking at these things. So blockchains are great. Yes, I'm going to hodl a few and see what happens. And of course, I'm going to dump them when I think the markets hit the top. But at the same time, when I'm looking at other projects, I'm wondering, okay, like, what's the narrative? What's going to be the new thing, right? So one of the projects that I've kind of like been tracking for a little while, a lot of you guys who follow me on Discord, you would know this, right? I've talked about this. It's Celestia, right? TIA. I've talked about Celestia, and I think I talked about Celestia when it was about $3 or $4, right? And look where we are right now. I think we're sitting at $14 or $15. So Celestia has done all right for us. But I think there's a narrative that somebody might be looking at, these modular blockchains and whatnot. So I think other people, copycats, are going to come along, definitely, right? And then, like, talking about copycat, I'll give you a good example. We had Link established, right? So Link is used for data feeds and whatnot. Currently, we have Pyth, right? Pyth launched on Solana network, I believe. Pyth does the exact same thing, but the price is low. So the narrative is, that's expensive, let's get this, right? And let's buy this. So Pyth has a opportunity to pump. From my point of view, Pyth is doing nothing different to what CoinMarketCap does, right? But Pyth is a narrative. Does that make sense, right? So to me, it looks like, okay, chuck $100 in there. Why not? See where it goes. Because Pyth could potentially lead to the level where Chainlink is right now. So you got to follow these things and say, right, well, where's the narrative? Where's the volume going in, right? Is the volume going into the existing one, or is the volume going to move into something new because it's fresh, new technology? And if it does, then that's where I want to be. Does that make sense, right? So I was looking at some Solana ecosystems recently as well, and a few like Bonk and this and that, whatever. Yes, they've had their pumps, and then I looked at it and I was like, should I buy? Should I not? Most of them that have done the parabola, I'm not looking into. I don't care. I don't think they're coming back, right? The meme coins, any meme coins, you want to be there at the beginning. So I've been looking at some meme coins, looking at the projects, and looking at how people are getting in right now, early stage, and they haven't really started to market or anything, but they do have a large holder base. And I was like, okay, so the price is cheap, large holder base. They haven't really pumped yet, and they have hundreds, if not thousands, of Solana locked into them already. Here's probably an opportunity that I should take. So I'm not going to name any, but that's what I've been playing around with, right? And if you guys want to know, then let me tell you this, right? So I have created a Telegram group, which I could potentially put the link down, but I'm not going to unless somebody asks me in the comment, then I'll give it to you. Because here, guys, I'm not here to shill anything. I'm not here to show you my Telegram group, show to you my the cryptocurrency project that we're doing. I'm not here to shill any of that. I'm not going to put anything in the description, right? I'm not doing that, right? But if you are interested in joining those communities, please do ask me in the comments. I will happily share the links with you. I will share the Telegram link and the so both of them actually, Telegram link, right? The projects, the cryptocurrency project that we're doing, the Telegram link for that, so you can join the community, and then all the announcements will be made there. I'm actually diverting away from Discord because I want to build a bigger community, and I think the opportunity is bigger and better on Telegram. Right, because I've seen Telegram communities do much better. So that's what I want to do. So just ask me in the comment. I'll share the link with you, and ask me which one you want. Do you want the one where I'm sending out potential projects, right? Obviously, there's no financial advice on any of them, or here on this video. There's no financial advice. You do your own research. But any potential coins projects that I see, I'm actually kind of posting it into those groups, so people can go and see and make their own decisions what they want to do. So that's the two things I'm doing. And also on my own project, No Central Exchange, that we're going to be doing, I'm just working, like kind of trying to build the community first. So marketing's about to start. I've got a whole bunch of people in the groups kind of shilling and doing whatnot. Good luck to them. All right, a lot of these guys are just marketers. They're just in it for the money. I understand that. That's not a problem. But I've made deals with them. I said, look, if you're a team player, then yeah, why not? You can benefit from these things, right? So, let's see who does what. We've got multiple nationality groups. So we have currently an English nationality, which that's the main, English language speaking, which is the main group. We have a Japanese speaking group. We have a Chinese speaking group. We have an Indonesian speaking group. And if there's anybody else that wants to come and start building your own group, by all means. By building a group, I will obviously weigh out, like you're part of the team, you'll become part of the team, and I'll weigh how many group members you have and how many of those group members have actually gone out and, participated in the airdrops or interacted with the protocol, right? I'll weigh that out. And based on that, the team member allocation that I have will be divided and sent out to you guys, basically. So you guys, like, we're doing community ambassadors. Let's just call it community ambassadors. So there are admins who are running these things, and moderators. You are the ambassadors, right? So if you have a community that you want to go ahead and do something to, by all means, you can go and promote the project. Not an issue, in your own language. I don't have a problem with that, because I see big future. I see big possibilities, big potential through getting all the communities. Because remember, the word or the words, right, no central, literally means we don't want it to be centralized. We want it to be completely decentralized, and everything to be deployed and hosted on the blockchain, so that way people can freely go and use it wherever they want, whenever they want, with all the regulations and all the other stuff that coming in. We definitely need something like this, because a lot of the projects are not. I've seen many projects, and I've talked about it many times as well, where I can't personally go and use certain websites because I'm geo-blocked. I'm like, I'm in the freaking UK, man, what's wrong with you, right? So yeah, I'm geo-blocked, and I'm like, okay, so that's how it works, right? So we need to find ways of preventing that happening, because we need our freedom, we need our sovereignty, right? So yeah, being in crypto means you're free, you're liberal, you do whatever you want to do, and that's what I want to do. I want to be free. I want to get out there, make as much money as possible. Of course, when I come out with my money in whatever country I'm in, I'm going to pay taxes, right? You pay your due taxes or whatever you need to do. You adhere to the rules and regulations of your country when you're back into fiat. But as long as I'm inside my crypto, I don't see why I am being geo-blocked or prevented from actually interacting or earning or making more money. So those are the reasons why I came up with the idea. I originally got frustrated and done it. Just to give you a kind of a bit of a context, I originally created the token on Optimism, and we had a few issues. In fact, I talked about hacking. Technically, someone kind of hacked. So I changed all of that. I'm now deploying the same contract or slightly variation, so that I'm taking one part out. So the contract originally had a multiple, in fact, had all the functions in there. I've decided to take some of those functions away now and make the contract in such a way that people can't do multiples, right? And can't do all sorts of other stuff. Of course, there may be some genius out there who figures out how to kind of impact certain things, but I'm going to do everything to prevent those kind of things happening. And that's why I'm taking it easy now, hence why I didn't create the contract yet. I'm sitting on the contract. In fact, I have 2 contracts sitting on my laptop just on the side here. And I'm going to double check which contract works better for me. And I'm going to make a few modifications, test them obviously thoroughly. Now testing, listen, a lot of the time when I'm doing the testing, they come out good. There's nothing wrong with the contract, right? But people find loopholes that they can actually go and attack the contract. So I'm hoping this doesn't happen again. And last time, I think people who would have, someone who would have gone and attacked it was from the community. To be honest, listen, we didn't advertise too much. Nobody knew that we're even around. I didn't do marketing. I did nothing. And silently, someone came in and done something. That clearly means that someone in the group did it. Someone I probably know. But that's fine. You know what? That's fine. That just tells me and teaches me a lesson that I've got to do a little bit more due diligence and make sure that just by having a contract that does all the functions isn't a good contract. I might as well have a limited contract with limited functions. This way, other people can't come in from outside, do a multi-call, and then swipe everything and take the Ethereum out, which is now sitting in no man's land because they can't actually even access it themselves. They don't even have it in their wallet, right? It's just gone lost. So sad, but that's the reality. This is why we're making it bigger, better, and stronger. And I'm also changing the tokenomics as well. So other than that, I think I've said enough. Crypto market's looking fantastic. Total market today sitting at $1.61 trillion. BTC sitting at 43,300. Not interested. Don't really care if BTC sits at 42 or even 43 or even 44. Doesn't matter. What matters is when we close on Sunday. That's what matters, right? Ethereum sitting at 2,357. Nothing to worry about. Solana sitting at $95. Brilliant. Not to worry about. And then I've got the other coins as well. Obviously, a lot of the coins are starting to come back up again. But what I'm focusing on is what's going to give me the best returns, right, in the short term. So if I am going to start trading these spot buys or any trades, then I'm looking at a 10% increase maximum, right? So I'm not looking at a 10x or whatever. 10% is all I want to make. So yeah, I've got a few coins that I've got my eyes on. Solana, I definitely have my eyes on. So let's see what happens. But right now, market's going to be a bit volatile. I want to go past this volatility. And as I said, the reset, it has come in. It's just a matter of confirming that it has reset. Whether it's this Sunday or whether it's next Sunday, we will find out on the coming Sunday. So let's see what happens. Other than that, guys, I hope I didn't bore the life out of you. And as I said, if you do want the links to the groups and whatnot, please let me know. I'm not going to put it in the description. I'm not here to shill anything. I'm not here to promote anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only telling you what I'm seeing on the charts. And I'm only telling you what I feel, basically. It's just my opinions, nothing more. I hope it was educational. I hope it helps you. But other than that, like, share, subscribe, and let me catch you on another one on another good day. Adios, my amigos.